Heidi ho, good neighbors. Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody had a great day today and you're doing well. We have another episode tonight, episode 16. I'm Phil Russert, and this is Creatorcon Q&A. Before we get started, as usual, we do our shout outs, but I will ask you, please share the live event, give Lula Lukas some exposure. The more you share, the more eyes on her, the more you support her as an artist and creator. So before we get started, for your comic book needs, we have Mad Titan Comics, Mad Titan _ Comics on Instagram, and Eric Gunderson, who is the owner and operator on Facebook. We also have It Came from the Radio, which is a podcast radio show. It's on all internet services. Mark Torres is the host, and it's a great show with indie news and pop culture news, and they have guests all the time. I've been on it before. It's a great show. We also have lesdudis.com, lesdudis.com, Andy Lee's website, everything pop culture and geek culture. Andy Lee is also the wonderful human being that did my intro and all my promo pics and things like that and graphics. So thank you, Andy, for always being an awesome individual, and thank you for making me look semi-professional. My part is not professional, yours is. Mm-hmm. And we also have Enrique Lopez, who has his Inking with Kike on Instagram every Monday night at 8 p.m. If you go to Studio MAENEFL on Instagram, every Monday night at 8 p.m., he inks live and he has a special guest. He has Mauro Zapata, I believe, this coming Monday. And he also has a new website that we will post in the chat, going to his art that he is up for sale. He's also got his anthology book, Stupendous. So please go pick that up and support him. So tonight we have Lula Lukas, who is making a big splash in the New York scene as a local artist. She has a variant cover for Vampirella that will be coming out very soon. She's a very kind person, a very nice person. She's well known in the area, and she's very talented. So without further ado, let's welcome Lula Lukas.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Thank you for having me.
No problem. How's everything going?
Good.
It's been a while. I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know, it's crazy how, unfortunately we're in this situation. But thank you for doing this. This is amazing what you're doing for artists and creators and writers and everything for the comic book industry right now. So I really appreciate this.
I'm just sitting and yapping away, so I'm not really doing much, but not a problem. So it's funny, I met you 2 years ago, I think, when I was going to do my first con, and I met you at I spoke to you online, but I met you in person at InBeyond, which was a local artist show. It's a good show for local artists and indie artists. And you were kind of shy. It was your new show, and you've kind of come out of your shell a bit, and your art is really progressing really well. I mean, it was always good from the start, but it's progressing nicely, and you've gone in digital medium and pencil medium and things like that. What inspired you to become an artist?
Honestly, I just picked up a pencil when I was about 5 years old, and my mom, she would always buy me back in the day when Disney made the VHS tapes, and dating myself, but it was a big deal. Like I would get I remember the first one I got was like Pinocchio, and she would collect them for me. So it was a big deal. And I just started drawing the covers. I would look at the cover and just her reaction to that probably motivated me to draw more. And so I was 5 years old at the time, and I was always the kid in school that was pretty good at it. I made friends easily, which was very helpful growing up in Brooklyn. And I wound up drawing the mascot for my school.
Cool.
We had a yearbook, and I guess the best artists at the time would get a chance to draw that year. And so that was, I guess, my first publication, but yeah. And then later on, I kind of wanted to get into graphic design and go into that industry. But unfortunately, stuff happens and life changes and things like that. And, So I kind of moved away from that. And then I stopped totally getting into comics for a few years. And um, funny story is that the reason I got back into it was because of the Batman Who Laughs. I found that character to be something, very interesting to me. I love DC and the Joker and Batman, and I was like, wow, this is right. This is amazing. What is this? And it made me walk into my friend Bill's store, Genesis Comic and Gaming in Ronkonkoma, and I wanted to learn more about it from there. And then I started to see like artwork hanging. It's been a while since I've been in a comic book shop. I was always going to the shops in Manhattan and Brooklyn, Midtown Comics. Just it was a long time, and I never really saw fan art before, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. That's so cool. And I was like telling him how I could actually draw. It's been a while since I've drawn, but I would love to maybe do it again. And he brought up the fact that Imbian Con was in 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, I had to learn how to put together a table, even though I've never been to a convention before. So that was exciting. So yeah. And then, I reached out to you because when learning about conventions, your website came up and I saw all the amazing artists that you had lined up. And I was so excited because one of my favorite artists, Adelso Corona, was part of the lineup. And I remember messaging you like, oh my God, this is so cool. When is your show? I would love to meet him. I'm an artist. I started sending you pictures of my work and you're like, oh, that's really cool. And I never thought that would ever lead into me actually having a table.
I was going to sit you next to him, but unfortunately,
I know.
Cancel. Yeah.
Oh my God! Wow. I just lost my mind thinking that I'm going to actually have a table, and that was such a great experience. Because the first show, I remember you put me right next to Rags Morales, and that was a huge impact to me. Because I remember driving to your show thinking about how, like, I wonder if I'll see him and maybe like I can bring up my identity crisis and maybe he'll sign it. Oh my God. Imagine now I'm thinking that way and now I sit next to him. It was just like my husband was laughing the whole time. Like,
so you try not to fangirl while you're sitting there getting used to doing the Comic-Con. Well, I like that. That's good though, because I mean, I'm sure Rags is even a fan of somebody else that he, was excited to sit next to. Next to him was Joseph Rubenstein, so it was a good little stretch over there. But I know that when I first met you at Imbion, you were you didn't draw live, but I know you're doing that now. You're drawing live. Yeah, you really come a long way in a couple of years. I mean, the confidence it must take.
Yeah, I got over that when I started to do the events at Grasshopper Comics, where you sit at a table with all artists and you're drawing live for people so that they can, possibly buy more raffles to raise money for the John Thiessen Foundation. So the first year I did that was at the end of 2018. So I've only been doing it for a few months after meeting you, going to my first convention. And now all of a sudden I'm sitting next to seasoned artists drawing live. It was so much pressure, but you got over it quick because you knew it was for a good reason. You knew you were part of a team and you were part of something very important. And then I don't know, after that I was like, I hope they ask me again next year, and they did. And the next year we broke the record. In one night they raised $18,000. So it was huge. Yeah.
And you know what? That's a great store, and he's a great guy running that store, John, right?
Oh my God. Love him. He's so good.
He is. And but jumping in sometimes, just jump in and swim is the best way to go. When you don't have time to worry and think about it, sometimes that's just the best thing, because you could psych yourself out of something.
Oh my God.
And as an artist, if you tighten up, it's going to reflect in your work. So you got to be loose. You got to be relaxed.
Yep. And you have to get over yourself. Let's face the facts. You have it's three things that I learned that really matters in this type of industry, what it is today, is that you have to have mental fortitude, to be able to deal with the inner dialogue as an artist, always judging and critiquing your own work, always seeing yourself where you should be and you feel like you should be much further. So that kind of dialogue, and it happens to the best of us. So we have to kind of like put that to the side and just really focus on growing, but also maintaining the skills. And then obviously the other two is just continuing learning and listening to others, listening to feedback that you gain from especially other artists, that have been in the industry. And I'm very lucky to have met some incredible artists, and they honestly, it's a very supportive community to begin with. Now imagine, being able to talk to people like Joe Quesada, Todd McFarlane, Rags, like all of these very cool artists that, I wouldn't really imagine how quickly, just being able to speak to them, to have that kind of access to them.
Right.
And it's amazing, and so it's a lot with social media. It's a lot because of your shows, having that community together and access to them so easily. It's very important to aspiring artists and new artists.
Well, I think it's important too, because I can't draw a stick figure, but I have a good eye for art. Like, I understand anatomy, foreground, but I understand tangents and line weights and stuff with inking and everything. So, I enjoy studying art when I look at it, even though I can't draw. But it makes me understand you guys too. Look, it's got to be hard. I know you're your worst critic, and then you're sitting next to somebody and you look at them and you're like, oh my God, look at how they draw. And then you start wondering, do I belong here?
Yeah.
But you have to know you belong here. Absolutely. And you know what? Like, again, in 2 years, you've come a long way.
Thank you.
Before we get into more questions, I just want to remind everybody that Lula has kindly donated 3 prints. She's excellent at Batman and Joker art. I mean, if you haven't seen her Heath Ledger Joker, it's just crazy. And
thank you. I have a.
Why he's so serious?
He's so serious.
And she's Lula has donated the 3 prints to the person with the best question. Lula will also. Oh, there's the other Joker, of course, Joaquin Phoenix.
And then the Snake Eyes. That's.
I have that print, and my cousin has it hanging on her wall.
Yeah, she loved it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I give that away a lot.
So, best question, we'll get that. If I don't get to your questions during the conversation, we will have the Q&A at the end. Unfortunately, I can't address every question while we're talking, but just know that stick to the end, repeat your question if I didn't answer it, and you'll get a shot at an answer. Also, you're going to be drawing that Baby Yoda.
Yes.
And a second winner will also get the drawing of Baby Yoda. I will determine the best answers, so I accept cash donations to my PayPal at any time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, of course. So throw your questions out. No, I don't take any money for anything. So you're in the digital medium and traditional pencils at this point. Do you prefer one or the other, or you started with pencils and you went into digital? I know, and you seem to grab the digital pretty quickly. But do you prefer one medium over the other?
It really depends on the character. So for something like a Baby Yoda, I like doing it in color and in digital because I can really play around with all different types of filters and shading and throw hearts on it if I want to. Like, I can have a ball doing it. And that's what's important to me, is that my fans see me having fun with art, and expressing myself and evolving. You probably look at all my art and you can see, like, how do you have a Joker and then Snake Eyes and then cute little Baby Yoda? I like to try and learn and continue to evolve. I don't have a specific style. You can't say like, oh, that's Lula Lukas, you're going to just continuously see my evolution because I'm constantly learning different mediums and improving. That's the goal, is just to continue to improve and help other artists, because I do have a lot of young fans and they're always asking me questions. So if or even older fans, I have older friends that want to learn things and I help them. So I do prefer, when it comes to a lot of hair, I like to do pencils, I like that. I like to do animals and pencils, and like when it requires more of that illustrative look, more of a traditional look, I'll definitely move towards that. But and then also I can paint. I can do watercolor as well. So I'm not just limited. Yeah. So I'd like to maybe grow in that area as well. I have friends that are amazing artists and they're always looking to help me out and guide me. So it's great.
And it's good to be versatile. I mean, not just with the mediums that you use, but the characters that you're drawing, like you said before. I mean, let's face it too, if you're at a convention, you never know what someone's going to commission you for. It's not going to, and you're not going to sit there and say, oh, I only draw Star Wars. I'm sorry, so.
No, I won't do a Spider-Man, though.
Oh, why is that?
I will definitely not. Maybe I'll do it if like the person really, really wants it and it's a gift for somebody, but I can't do it in front of you. It takes too much time. It's very tedious, and
the lines in the costume.
Yeah.
See,
great character.
I that because there's no face that you have to worry about.
I know. I like drawing faces. I'm not afraid of that. I love drawing eyes, and
you have that Michael Turner, or you used to anyway, have that Michael Turner look with the eyes and the eyebrows that I love. Yeah. I mean, obviously it was your style, but you could see that you were influenced by Michael Turner, and obviously I love Michael Turner's work. Rest his soul.
He was a big influence. He still is. Like I still go back and look at his lines and,
But
amazing.
I mean, I would imagine. I mean, again, I've been watching and seeing you on Instagram, but your style is evolving too. You're getting more natural and comfortable in your own style.
Thank you.
And that's where you can see, growth. We have a few people saying hello. Del Guzman said hello. He's probably got 100 questions below I haven't looked at yet. He's part of my rogues gallery. Michael Ratliff, hey man, how are you?
He is awesome. Michael, I just discovered him.
Yeah.
I'm such a fan. He's like one of my top 10.
Yeah, I just met him.
And I have a lot of favorite artists.
Yeah, I just met him too. He's a great guy and he's very talented, very talented. I think he needs to remember that sometimes, but he's very talented.
Oh my God, I want to collaborate with him. I want to color his work.
And it's funny that you say that, because one of the things I love about doing this show is I've actually had people meet up and network and start following each other's work, supporting each other, working together. And I just think that's awesome, because that's what the community should be, right? I mean, comics is what should bring us together. So I love when I hear stuff like that. So you hear, Michael, you guys got to talk on Facebook and collaborate. Yeah,
I would love to, especially his Ninja Turtles. Oh my God, just the that gritty look. I love that.
He showed a print too. It was like the Chiba look, but it was like all horror people, and it was so good.
Oh yes, I did see that.
They were all, oh
my God, with Jason hanging. I love that.
The Hellraiser by Pinhead. Yeah,
so much creativity. I'm a fan, big fan.
Bradley says hello.
Hello.
How are you? Just
doing
get
good.
your hellos in here. Bradley said, oh my God, I love your art.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mike did say hello too. My mother said hello. My mother.
Hi. That's amazing. I hope my mother-in-law is on. She's one of my biggest fans. I love her so much. I have the best mother-in-law in the world.
That's nice.
She's amazing.
We got a lot of hellos. And then here comes Del with the questions, as I knew they'd come. I'll get to them in a minute, Del.
So let me start. just at least mapping this out.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll give you a chance to start.
Yeah, go
So,
ahead.
so you're a little more seasoned. You get things under your belt, and in just 2 years, you already got a variant cover for Vampirella.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So tell us about how that came about and when it's coming out, and if you can show us. I know we'll show us after you start drawing.
Yeah, I'll definitely show you. I did do a quick little print of her today, and it was a surreal feeling to be able to see that. And I got to tell you, the printer people were fanboying a little.
That's cool.
You know, it was like, you did this, and I'm like, and it's been a while since I've actually interacted with people that see my art. It's like, I was like, oh my God, you really think it's that good? And they're like, oh my God, you did this? They couldn't believe it. I think they even Googled my name probably at the time, you know, just to make sure.
But how is that to walk into a store and see your cover right there on a shelf? I mean, that's got to be incredible.
No, I didn't do that. I only printed it out because I really wanted to see. I wanted to show it
Okay.
tonight anyway, and take a look at it. But yeah, that's gonna be crazy to see it in a slab.
Yeah.
You know? Oh my God.
When does it come out?
It should be coming out next week. Because it's an exclusive store variant, I'll tell you the story. Basically, it's funny. I did a giveaway contest on Instagram, and where one of the winners wanted, it was like, whatever you want, I'll draw it. Just tell me what you want. It just helped me get out of like a little block that I was having. And I like to do that whenever I have a block. It's like, you tell me what you want and I'll draw it for you. And a really cool thing about it was that she wanted something. I forgot who it was, but because she won something for free, she wanted to commission me to give it a gift to somebody, her friend, who told her about the contest. And I was like, that is so sweet, you know, you know. And so she commissioned me for a Jean Grey, or the Dark Phoenix. She commissioned me for that, and drawing that and then sharing it. I shared it on Facebook, and that's how I was discovered by Get Slabbed Up Comics. And he reached out to me, and he was looking for new artists, you know, and he really liked my work, and he actually said that if I wanted, there is a one-shot Vampirella coming out. If I'd like to do the cover for it. And I was so excited, you know, and for somebody to say like, hey, you want it, here it is, here's a cover, and it worked out really well. The funny thing is, during the deadline, I had to actually do the deadline during the hurricane that just passed. You know,
Yeah.
it was August 2nd. That was the deadline, and I didn't have any power, so I had to make my husband go put the generator on, because I'm doing this electronically. That's one of the downfalls.
Right.
And you know, I reached out to a few of my friends that are artists, and they're like, yeah, it's normal. Usually that's what happens when you're on a deadline. You have to like go sit in the car with your car charger. Oh my God, you guys are used to this. Okay, all right. It's not just me, but my bad luck, right? So
The neighbors.
I got it done.
Must have a deadline.
I got it done in a hurricane, and so I did my very best. I hope, you know, I did do the background first. I had the image of the background, which was very important to me, because it's one thing to draw a character. You also have to have the background. It has to make sense. It has to go along with the theme. And the theme was Trial of the Soul. So basically, she is being tested, and she has, you know, between heaven and hell, where's her soul going? And as a vampire, it's like, you know, I felt like this would be perfect to
go a little. Yeah, there you go.
There you go, right? So showcase like her soul in the background, basically showing that devil horns, yeah, and then having the halo. So yeah, and then I wanted to also show that she was in a moment, and Vampirella is very fierce and powerful, so you can't show her really, I mean, you can, but I didn't want to express her in a weak state. I wanted to kind of create a moment where she's about to rip those handcuffs off. Like
Right.
she's getting there, you know? And so I hope that I was able to portray that.
How much leeway did you have as far as the content of the cover, the composition? Did they just say do whatever, or as long as it sticks to the theme, or did they give you guidelines, or?
Yes, Dynamite did give you, they mostly said you have to make sure you capture the essence of her. But you have to submit a sketch, and I did get great feedback. So it wasn't like, oh, hey, her eyes are crooked or anything. Like, it was very like, they loved it, and they just gave me some pointers. They wanted to make sure that that I needed a little bit more of a way to pull the reader in. So I thought by creating the straps on her arms would give some sort of linear perspective to draw more into the center and towards the mouth, and then eventually here, you know, like bring the eye in at least, you know.
Right.
I hope that makes sense.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I added the straps, and they approved it. So yeah.
Oh, you
So there's a lot
succeeded.
of thought behind it. You know, it wasn't just like, hey, draw a beautiful Vampirella. There was a lot of thought behind it. And I only had about 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. Wow.
To conceptualize, too. Conceptualizing, let me tell you, what a
There's a lot
difference
of
from.
thought that goes into that, and second guessing, and you probably erased or, well, restarted a lot of times.
And when you are a very flexible artist, you're very versatile, you can go in 5 million directions. And that's hard when you don't have an editor or a director, creative director telling you. You just have yourself. And then I do have great friends. So I did share like some of the sketches and got their feedback. And that way I'm not like out of touch, you know?
Right.
So I'm very grateful for them supporting me.
When they offered the opportunity to you, what was there? Fear, doubt, excitement? I mean, all of the above. Because I know you had mentioned before that you kind of, you're your worst critic. Like I think most artists are, if not all. And this was big for you. Just hey, guess what? You've got this opportunity. Do you are you pooping yourself, or are you?
It was more like, wow, I'm gonna have to look at this forever. It better be something I love, because this is kind of like my rookie card, as they say, right? This is your first one. So I mean, I just wanted to hit it out of the park for me, so that when I look back, I say, wow, I probably could do better in certain areas. I was on a very tight deadline in the middle of a hurricane. I probably could definitely do some different things now, but it's never like, oh, I can't believe I did that or went that direction. I know I put a lot of thought and heart into it, you know.
And it came out fantastic.
Thank you.
Will you be selling prints when shows come back? Will you be selling the prints, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to, have those and have that chance to be at convention soon. I am going to be doing a virtual signing, not a virtual signing, an actual in-person signing for Royal Collectibles. Yeah, they're amazing. They bought a bunch of copies, and I'll be there. We haven't set a date yet. We want to make sure it fits in their schedule and everything, but I will announce that soon, and they've been amazing to me, and I can't wait.
Just to let everybody know, scrolling on the bottom, her Instagram is Love by Lula. Facebook is Lula Lukas with a K. And you have www.lulalukas.com. Now, will they be able to get the books directly from you at any point, or strictly through the stores that order them?
Strictly through the stores that have them, which is going to be obviously Royal, Collectibles.
Genesis?
I'm sorry?
Will Genesis have them?
Yes, Genesis will have them, and also Fourth World.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great stores, all of them.
Great stores, amazing. And then obviously, I would love that. I miss it a lot, and I was just getting used to it. As you know, I was very fearful of crowds, and I was finally like getting to a point where I was excited to do it and go and meet fans and learn more about what's going on, what they're excited about, and having those types of conversations. But then, obviously everything fell apart. This was going to be a big year for not just me, but for a lot of people.
You know what, though? It's a tree that fell on a road. You're still on the road. The road is a long road. And to be honest with you, I think the con circuit the bubble was bursting. People were getting tired of them. So I think there's going to be a hunger and a thirst for when they come back. And then people, think about this. You're going to have even more of a portfolio and a resume to present at shows to fans. So I sometimes I think it's a good thing that, obviously the situation's not a good thing,
right?
But a hiatus sometimes is a good way to restart and recharge an industry.
100%. I definitely agree with you 100%. The shows were very important, but like you said, it was getting maybe a little excessive. There's a lot. But you're right, a restart was needed, and anyone that took this time to harness their craft and improve, you're going to see amazing talent come out of this. Amazing.
And the indie scene has just gotten stronger.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Todd McFarlane said it best. He said how he had a recent interview with Joe Quesada, and he said that basically all of the fans that have not had a chance to go to the conventions, go to the movies, all that entertainment funds that they have, it's just been accumulating, and they want to support creators and artists and writers right now. So they're going to the independent scene and helping out, which is incredible. The fans need to see their artists do well, because it's just, they go hand in hand, and it's very important.
Absolutely. And besides, for all they know, you could be that next big thing, in the industry. Jim Lee started somewhere. McFarlane started somewhere. There was a time people didn't know who they were, or they had a limited following. So you have to nurture the people coming up, because you never know what they can blossom into. That's what I feel.
You're 100% right. And because you've seen it right in front of your eyes with all the artists that you're friends with,
just even like guys like Crease,
oh my God.
I know.
I'm such a fan of Crease.
I know. And he's such a nice guy. I watched him, I knew him when people didn't. Dell wanted to ask you, what gave you the idea for Love by Lula? Was the idea that art brings people together the main reason why you did it?
Yes. I guess he listened to a podcast, maybe, because
Dell he wants to win the art. And I told you he was going to come out with
I don't have that anywhere written, really. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Dell does his homework. Dan
very good.
Up, everybody. Dan is a part of the Rogues Gallery as well. He said hello.
Hello.
The Rogues Gallery is basically, I have a very loyal, supportive group of people. God bless you people for coming out every show. We call them the Rogues Gallery because they usually like to roast me while we're doing shows. So they're not my allies, they're my rogues. But they're great people. Dan said hello, Lula.
Hello.
And of course, we have a whole list of Dell questions. But anybody else want to throw some questions? You get, she's giving out the 3 prints. You can't let Dell win by default. You got to challenge him somehow. He's already asked about 12 questions. I told you. Enrique Lopez, sorry I'm late. He's here to say hello.
Hi, how are you? I think I'm going to be a guest on his show, too. He's asked me. I was very nice to him.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, God.
I kid.
Do you remember when I lost your artwork and he had it? I was so nervous.
I didn't know if I should bring that up, but you were so kind. You drew Belle from Beauty and the Beast from my wife and my kids. And I don't even think you knew that that was their favorite Disney movie. It just happened to be a home run. And it looks fantastic.
Thank you.
It looks like a cell from it was done in pencil, but it looks like it could be a cell from the movie.
Stop.
And yeah, so it somehow wound up getting to Enrique. Who knows? Maybe he, took a 5-finger discount. We never know. No, I was kidding.
I was so happy when he told me he had it. Oh my God. I think I left it. something. Yeah, I think I left something when I gave him like I think it was inside one of those like plastic bags, and when he had it, I was like, oh, thank God, because I wanted to give it to you that night after the
Yeah,
show.
he told me he had it, and he kindly inked it too, and I have both versions, and both versions are in Melanie's room.
That's so
So,
cool.
yeah. Well,
Thank you.
you know, when you were backstage, my daughters came on. They wanted to say hello, and they remembered the tiger that you drew that you gave them, and the bell, and you had given
You're
some
adorable.
prints. You were very kind, and they remembered you. They so they were swarming all over trying to say hi.
I know. I was like, do they do this for everybody? All your guests?
No, no, they don't. My mother wanted to ask, who is your favorite superhero? Who is your favorite villain? Which I know the answer.
My superhero, my favorite superhero. What do you think?
Superhero, I honestly think it's Batman related. At least villains are. If it's not the Joker, it's Catwoman for villains. And superhero, you know, superhero, I'm not sure, but I think Joker or Catwoman are your villains.
Yeah, my villain is definitely Joker. When it comes to superhero, it is Wonder Woman. I mean,
Is it
it's
okay?
yeah,
Melanie's Wonder Woman too.
yeah. And I can show everyone the Wonder Woman I did for your show. It's right here. Yeah.
Yes, that was another kind thing you did. You donated, and it was my flyers for my show. I put 5x7 flyers with art in the back for collectors, and you did that amazing Wonder Woman that was on the back of the flyers. They sold out fast. I had to order more quite a few times. So again, that's another thing to thank you for.
Oh,
And,
I
but
love I was so happy to do it. I was really shocked. The crown took about 8 hours to do, by the way.
oh really?
Everything else was quick. The hair. Yeah, I've never really drawn, Gal Gadot's crown, the new
The
crown.
movie
So,
version, right?
yeah. So
Well,
that took a while to make it look real. People don't realize when you're drawing on a glass screen, it's different with pencils. You can build easily on the
right.
paper. But yeah, it took a while. It was fun.
Now you had obviously the Vampire cover is coming out soon. Do you have some other projects in the works?
Yes, I just got confirmation that I will be doing Red Sonja next. So
Congratulations, very nice.
thank you. I'm
Excellent.
excited.
Do you have a
Speaking of,
longer deadline, or you still have 2 weeks for
yes, I
conception?
do. And I pray there's no storms or anything like that. Yeah, Red Sonja, I'm excited. I already have a couple of directions I'd like to go, and I love animals, so and I could really put some animals
Oh,
in
sure, yeah,
with the
absolutely.
wolves.
So will you do that in pencil then?
Yes,
Oh,
because
okay.
now I have more time, and yeah, absolutely, you're right. And you've seen my timber, right? My
Yes. Yeah, that the Snake Eyes bust with timber. Oh, awesome. Yes,
yeah. So
absolutely.
I can't show it because it is a gift for somebody, and
Oh, okay. Well, I
yeah.
appreciate that I got to see it, but whoever it's gift for, you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, he came out beautiful. I was very proud of that. And I'm drawing Yoda on the same paper and same pencil I'm using. So I
Nice.
want to, try to keep that. Thank
Keith
you, Keith.
loved the Snake Eyes prints. So did Raphael. Raphael is with the Bitten Apple. He does interviews and the
Hmm.
written stuff. You know him, right?
Yeah.
He's a great guy. He does great interviews. They're always at my shows. They're press at my shows. Very kind people.
Yes, I've seen
Um,
them.
what did you ask now, Dell? You're such a great person. Look at you sucking up for those prints. You try to donate pieces to different foundations and teach foster children. Who pushes you to help so many people at a time? Dell you are too much, Dell.
So what is the question you try?
What pushes you to help so many people at a time?
What pushes me to help people?
Yeah.
I think it's just something naturally. I it really started after my parents passed away 10 years ago, and I found that volunteering helped me cope with it and really change perspectives. And ever since then, volunteering has been a big part in helping the community. So when you go through something so dark, you have to either, become the light, for others and help others. And I chose that path, instead of going totally the opposite, it's.
Well, you and I have the same agenda, and I think that's part of the reason why we kind of cross paths, because I believe in the strength of community. I mean, unity is in community, right?
Yeah.
The old adage, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, we all have dreams and aspirations and careers, and we want to raise them the same way we want a child. We want to see it grow. We want to see it flourish. Well, why not do it together? It doesn't have to be I step on you for me to get ahead. How about it is we grab hands and do it together? I don't understand that other side of things. Just to show you why they're my rogues gallery. There's an ongoing jokes that go on from past guests. Yeah, past guests tell stories, whether it's their craziest commission or things I want to do. So there's always like running jokes with the rogues gallery. Apparently, I'm supposed to pay for like 100 people to go to Red Lobster.
Oh my God.
And here you go, Dan. Phil Russell is the worst. I love these guys. I love them like the family I never wanted. Like this is a reference to a crazy commission from Chris Campana that he told the story. So,
I heard that story. I watched that. I was like, did he ever tell you what it was? I think.
Yeah, he told us.
He had to tell you on the side.
And Danley said, "You're amazing." And
thank you.
Aubrey is yelling, "Double L, Lula
Double
Lukas."
L. He named me Double L. He gave me such like the coolest nicknames and hashtags. He calls me Lukas Skywalker.
Nice. Hey, any Star Wars references good for me.
Oh my God, Lukas Skywalker. What the Lula? That girl Lula. And I'm probably forgetting, but Double L was the first one, and he named me, and he's great. He's definitely top 5 fans. Dan, that's my partner in crime. Dan, he's a great artist. And what is he saying? I'm still waiting on mine. Oh, his Spider-Man.
Oh, speaking of Spider-Man, now you know why you're waiting, Dan, because she hates the lines.
I hate him so much.
We're going to commission Spider-Man.
No, I will now.
Lewis said, "Hey, Lula, I miss you. Can't wait to get my second Catwoman sketch covered by you. Lula Lukas, hope you've been well since COVID-19.
That was a fun sketch.
I saw it. He showed it to me.
Oh, yeah. It was Catwoman with the Joker, the Batman Who Laughs face. So
yeah,
it was that was one of the hardest ones I had to ever do, because I had to take something so beautiful and cat-like, and also then make it, very ugly and disturbing.
Well, you get the creep factor for someone who can do Disney and Belle from Beauty and the Beast and make my kids go, "Oh, that's so sweet." You can show them how to do the creepy really well.
Thanks. I try. I enjoy it. I definitely find comfort in that, because it does. I mean, I love horror. I love, I grew up in the 80s, and I love all those weird movies too. And so it's normal. I just don't like Freddy Krueger.
Really? Oh, he's the best.
No, that freaks me out. My brother used to sing 1, 2, Freddy, before I would go to bed.
For you.
Yeah, I had an older brother who would just,
That's what they're for.
Haunt me. Yeah.
That's what they're for. Michael Ratliff wanted to ask you, if you could challenge yourself as an artist, how would you challenge yourself? What would you do?
Oil painting, like getting deeper into that, and doing an oil painting of maybe more scenery,
Okay.
and maybe obviously pulling. I'm picturing right now as something I would love to do is like an oil painting of like Batman, um, being in Italy, like with the beautiful sculptures around him, and having that type of perspective. Like I want to be able to one day be able to create imagery that goes deeper, almost like pulling a lot of the old artists, from the Renaissance into um, the comic book world too, giving that effect. And I would love to do that. That would take a while, but if anyone ever commissioned me to do that, that would be a blast to do.
Dan Lee wanted to ask you, what's her favorite project she's worked on previously? I mean, I guess that could include commissions, anything that you've worked on as well.
My favorite project I've worked on previously. I honestly, the Vampirella is what makes the one of the top. That really challenged
Sure.
me. So I guess I enjoy the journey. Seeing what can happen when I'm really pushed to the limits, and not everyone can handle that, and that's usually what creates diamonds. And I think I could have really quit a lot of times, and so most people would have.
Well,
So
that's how you build confidence. You just got to get in and do it. Like
yeah.
you said, pressure is what creates diamonds. Keith gets slabbed up, says hello.
Hey Keith, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
So I just wanted to ask you, I didn't put this in the questions, but it just came to my mind. Obviously, successful with the cover and you're going to do more covers. Have you ever considered sequential work? Do you need to work on that, or do you feel you're on par to do sequential work?
I'm not strong in sequential work. I did take a narrative class recently through the Kubert School, because they offered online classes for the first time ever, and I really learned a lot. And I think my strengths are covers, and I love sequential art. I understand it. I appreciate it so much. But when my strength is being very detailed, and not that sequential art isn't detailed or anything. I just, maybe one day I can get a little stronger there, but right now I'm not.
Well, you know what? I mean, you got more covers coming, and build your confidence, build your portfolio, hone your skills like you have been, and who
Thank
knows
you.
what the future, what you decide to do. Some people don't even want to do sequential if they can get cover gigs, which actually pay really well. Why not? So, Ivan Rodriguez, Lula, do you see the finished drawing in your mind before you start drawing, or do you start with a basic concept and just end up with the finished product?
So it's a little bit of, it's a lot of erasing, honestly. And that's the eraser is a very important tool traditionally and also digitally. So it's basically what I feel is the highest standard that I can reach in my art. So it's a lot of trial and error. That's my point. So sometimes I do visualize something, or maybe I have a model of who I want the character to look like. With a picture reference, sometimes it doesn't transfer well on paper. So I have to learn that and make changes and be very quick to move forward and not get so attached to my original vision, and just keep moving, So I have to figure out what's the best way to express that character. And sometimes it's not always digital. Maybe it does come out better in a watercolor,
Right.
So.
But that's good to have the versatility in different mediums, and you can play around and decide what captures the the essence of the picture, that you're trying to create. So
Yeah. Yeah.
by the way, Michael Ratliff, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. I don't know if we've scheduled you to be on the show, but you should be. So reach out to
Yeah.
me if you. I apologize. I'm scheduled through February. By the grace of God, and I appreciate that interest. So if I haven't scheduled, Mike, reach out to me. Vera wants you to talk about the art in the background.
Behind me?
Yeah, the framed art behind you.
So you'll see in the middle is my Wolverine. I think you've seen that in person, right?
I have that Wolverine, yeah. The Bone Claw
Uh,
Wolverine, right?
yeah, the
Yeah,
Bone
I have it
Claw.
with the mask. With the mask, yeah.
Savage, and he is all pencil, lot of work. That
Yeah, I have
was
that. Do you still have prints of that for sale, or?
yeah, I mean, I just have like small versions of it. I should probably print out something better, like a better version of it. It's just that it's something that I would never sell the original because it's so meaningful. It's something I did 20 years ago. And um then next to on the my left side, or I don't know, I'm in the camera view, but I have a Wolverine, and I did like a couples theme, like I put Batman and Catwoman together, and then I did Wolverine and Jean Grey. So they were just pencil drawings that I wanted to do for no reason. No, no one commissioned me, but those two are for sale, and they're on my website.
Cool. And the website, again, everybody's scrolling below, lulalukas.com. So go check that out after the show and, see what you want to buy. Man, I'm getting a lot of love in this chat room, too. This is a weird night. Usually I'm getting, bombarded and attacked. Thank you, Daniel Roman. It's right back at you, buddy.
Love by Lula. I bring love
I'm
to the
telling you,
comic
I'm usually
industry.
I scrolled past a few. I mean, Veer and all of them were coming at me, but I didn't want to bog down the show with that. But I love the teasing. I do appreciate it. But the love is always nice too. So thank you guys. So Michael Ratliff even said, "Best question right here. When are you going to put your colors on my line work?" So there you go.
I'm so excited.
There you go. Well, listen, since I'm kind of like the love connection of the art world here, you guys got to show me I love progress shots, so show me the work when you're getting it going,
Yeah, definitely.
Love the Catwoman Who Laughs sketch cover that you did. Okay. Just trying to get everybody in. So, you have the next cover coming. Have you ever thought of anything creator-owned for yourself, or doing your own Kickstarter, or even just a sketchbook? A lot of people doing sketchbook Kickstarters, a simple campaign and a nice 20-page sketchbook or something.
I didn't know that even existed. Well, I have Adelsos, I have Art Germs, but until I watched Ace's show and saw what he's doing and how he's sketching in the actual sketchbook, I thought that was brilliant, and good for him, because that's so unique and different. And I was like, maybe I should do a sketchbook, a Kickstarter, and then if people like my art and I'll just draw something original in there as well, why not? We'll see. I that did spark an interest of mine. It's a nice gift too. Like, even if it's not something for you, but why wouldn't you get that for somebody else? Maybe someone that's a fan of a character, and the holidays are coming. So,
well, think about this too. The cost shouldn't be too high, so you wouldn't have to have a high set amount on a Kickstarter. It's a good way to start Kickstarter to get you comfortable in the feel of that. If you ever do something creator-owned, you know how to run a Kickstarter. And yeah, I mean, people can get a nice collection of your art. I mean, the art's done. It's just putting it in a book.
yep.
I think you'd be very successful. And if you wanted, like you saw with Ace, maybe if you had the time, I don't know if you will, maybe you could do a sketch, in the back of the book for, a few dollars more or something, or as a pledge level. I think you'd be successful at it. I think you should try it. I mean, that's just my opinion.
I listen to your opinion, and by the way, I am involved with an actual independent comic book. I do have that in the works, and it's called Criminal Tendencies, and it was written by my good friend Ray Schwetz. He wrote it 30 years ago. Well, he started it. He started the first issue, and now he's up to issue 6. And he had this script, and I needed to learn sequential art. I needed to learn the process of creating a comic book, and we connected with this. And we also brought on 2 other team members, and Dan, who just mentioned how I didn't give him a Spider-Man yet, even though he could probably draw him. Well, he's drawn a 6 Spider-Man. He can really draw amazing, and he's our main, pencil artist plus concept artist, and
Nice.
he's been doing a lot of great work. And we also have Stacy Reiniger, who is our letterer, and mostly like the enforcer and the organizer, and making sure page layouts are done, and you need that organization, and she's amazing at that. So, and then I'm obviously going to be more of the helping out, and also doing a lot of the covers and concept art, and but it's great to have most of the work pretty much there as far as script,
Right.
and the characters, and someone to go to and ask questions about it, and what this character should look like, or what do you visualize it. And when you hit the nail right on the head with a character that's been inside someone's mind for the last 30 years, it's a great feeling as an artist that you brought that character to life for the writer.
Sure.
They always visualize that character to look a certain way, or act a certain way, or wear this type of clothing, and that's a great achievement to do that. And we're moving pretty good. COVID obviously did put a damper on things. We were planning to go to like Comic-Con, and and all, do a whole tour, but there'll be time for that. I told Ray actually yesterday, I said, listen, the worst thing that would have happened with that we just gave up, or maybe I would have just decreased my skills, but it's actually going the other way. I'm increasing and improving constantly, and learning faster ways to get to where I want my characters to be, and what the look should be. So when we are ready to push forward, at least we'll be much more efficient and effective. So.
And when can we expect to see? Was it issue 6 you said?
Well, yeah, we are still in the beginning phases. So I do, on my website, I do have one character up that I drew, an original character. The story is basically if you like any of those movies from the 90s, like the movie Heat, Reservoir Dogs, any psychological criminal type movies, you'll love
Why can't I
this.
be Mr. Black? Why
Huh?
can't I be Mr. Black?
So yeah, if you like those kind of movies, you'll enjoy this type of story. And it's a detective story, and really cool characters. So I'm excited. It's going to be fun. So
Now, having said that, with the indie thing going on, would you ever want to work for the big 2?
I would be crazy to say no. I mean,
who would you prefer? I already know the answer, I think, but DC or Marvel?
Well, DC, of course. They have legendary characters. They're the royalty, right? Not that Marvel's not great or anything like that, but I think I would probably do more justice with the characters that I align with more. But yeah, it's I have nothing against the big 2. I am a huge fan of Todd McFarlane, so I appreciate the independent scene and the importance of it.
So if you could pick any book to work on, what would it be, and who would be your creative team if you could select?
Dead or alive?
It would have to be alive.
They have to be alive.
You
Right.
kind of can't have them doing work with you if they're dead.
I know.
That would be a whole different topic.
No, but I'm just saying, if I could pick a creative team, I would have, I have to go in a different direction, obviously.
Well, you know, if you want, let's amend. You could say
Michael Turner.
Who's your favorite creative team
Yeah.
that you admire, but who would you choose to work with now? Let's do that.
Yeah, work with now. I would love to. Well, for writer, I would definitely love to have Scott Snyder. I think he's just brilliant and really connects to so many fans. And for art, for pencils, I love Greg Capullo. His pencils are amazing.
Love Capullo's work.
Oh God, I could look at the Court of Owls, right? I actually have the one where it's just pencils, and I could just stare at it like so simple, so clean, and that's real pro.
I
pro
love
level.
that stuff on Spawn. Oh man, I love this.
Yes, and Spawn. So inking now, Todd McFarlane.
What about Adelso?
Or Adelso. They're pretty much the same. Same guy.
Adelso's really been stepping up big time too with his work that has been going on. He's been really knocking it out of the park. He'll be a guest on the show too.
That'll be cool. I met him last year finally.
Oh, good. What, New York Comic Con?
Yeah, he was at Comic Con, and
that's where you got a sketchbook, right? Because that's where I got one.
I got metal prints, and it was just so nice to meet him. And I gave him Snake Eyes. That was
nice.
I just want you to have this, and I wrote like a little note. Because you inspired me, I get to inspire other artists, and that's what it's all about. Thank you for taking the time to message me and say that I nailed it. And that led to me where I am today. So yeah. Nice. I gave him one of those. I met Art Germ that day. I met Mark Silvestri, Todd McFarlane. Like, what a day. Oh my God. And I was so afraid of crowds. I would have never gone. Usually, and I got to meet some of the most amazing artists.
I don't like crowds either, but New York Comic Con is my one holiday every year, and my friend calls me Backpack Ninja because even though at the time, now I'm down to 220, but I was 260, I was like the wind blowing between people. Despite my size, I was just like, so he used to laugh, and for a guy my size, 6'1", 260 pounds, he's like, man, you're like a Backpack Ninja.
I've never seen that many people in my life.
I know. Tell us, do you have any pieces or sketches from some of your favorite artists? If so, which is your favorite? Which is your favorite piece?
An actual sketch? Like an original artwork? Unfortunately, I don't. I would love one day. But unfortunately, I don't have any original work.
Lou, this is Lou. I have a question on sketching. I need some advice on how to minimize the amount of lead graphite dust that ends up sticking to the paper when sketching, especially for a while. Any tips for him to keep the graphite and lead dust from accumulating on the page? Or just swipe it off? Go digital. Go digital.
Go digital. The pencils that I use, I'll show you. I mean, graphite is very hard to work with. And yeah, he's right. Dan definitely knows. These are the pencils that I use. And they're very clean. Yeah. Very clean. That was the word. Now, when you're using graphite, the Snake Eyes I used only for graphite, and that really was a lot of, because you have to get in there and make all the dark black, and it does get dirty. But I try not to work with the full lead graphite pencils. I've been working with these now, and you can put a piece of paper in that area, that helps. What
Yeah,
else?
you're right. Put the paper over there, and it'll get on the paper, and you can just pull the paper away. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like a thin piece of paper. I use sometimes, where is my little book? I use like almost like a notebook, like a tiny little sketch, just to write notes and stuff. They're
Right.
like, like small piece of paper that is not like a huge, and it's easy to move. I use a brush to kind of very softly, but just be prepared that you're going to have to erase, at the end, all the smudges and stuff. It's part of it. I usually give it to my husband to do. He cleans it up.
By the way, I just want to let everybody know, especially people like Veer who keep asking me to answer their questions. I'm having a conversation with someone right now. So as I tell everybody, if I don't get to your question during the conversation, we have the Q&A at the end of the show. So if I don't answer your question, when I'm done speaking with Lula, we will go over all of your questions with Lula at the end. I promise I will answer every question that you guys ask me if you repeat it later. But don't post it 4 times in the thread, because if I can't get to it, I can't get to it. Patrick said, hi, Lula.
Hi, Patrick. How are you? Hope everything is well.
Keith asked, who's your favorite X-Man and which one is the hardest one to draw, in your opinion?
So my favorite is Wolverine.
The bad boy.
Yeah. My favorite is Wolverine. And I think the hardest to draw, I guess, I don't know, Xavier, because it's not really, it's really boring.
Yeah. A bald guy in a suit.
Yeah, that would be very hard for me to draw. I wouldn't have no motivation. So
Stacy wanted to ask you, and I think it's a great question. I know Michael Turner is someone you look to for inspiration. If you could ask him one question or ask for advice, what would you ask him? That's a great question. That's a great question.
Girl. Oh my God, somebody wants this original.
That's a great question.
Yoda. Oh my God, girl. One question or ask him advice. I guess show me how you make that eye so freaking perfect right in front of me. I want to know. I've watched a video of him do it. Actually, there is a video of him doing it on YouTube, and I've seen him like where he did like a seminar, let's say, quick drawing, and he did like really quick. But I would love to have seen him draw it and find his quick techniques, and how he can just create that eye so quickly. Yeah.
Nice.
That's
a lot of love about the sketchbook here. A sketchbook from Lula would be awesome.
Thank you.
A sketchbook would be awesome to try. So you're getting some sketchbook love.
Hi, Lewis. Yeah, he's awesome. He is a great,
Yes. Oh yeah, Shadow Rabbit.
Sculpting is a whole different world. Yeah.
Just so you know, Lou is reaching out to you about charity auctions. Lou, I just recommend that you message her on the side about charity auctions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, by the way, I just want to let you know, anybody, Dan and Michael Ratliff and everybody Ratliff, I have no problems if you want to post links to your work in the chat. This is all about getting exposure for everyone. We're a community. Feel free to post a link to whatever your page is or your work in a chat. I have no problems with that. And Chris Mad has joined us. You and I were talking about Chris behind the scenes before the show.
Yeah, great artist. Amazing.
Yeah, he's a good man, and he's a excellent artist. Excellent artist. Okay, so obviously conventions aren't going right now, but in regards to conventions returning, when you were going to conventions, what was one of your favorite convention moments, or what was a moment that stood out to you?
When I almost dropped a canvas and hit Joe Robinstein while he was inking. I I almost died. If I was lighter skinned, I would have been a tomato. Like, oh my God, you'd see how red and embarrassed I was.
And what
I
did he do?
dropped my canvas and went flying
You know,
down.
he's a very nice man, but he looks very serious. Like
He
if
looked
you,
very serious when that happened.
yeah, I was gonna say. So how did he react? Because he, like I said, he's a very nice man when you talk to him, but he looks deathly serious when you just look at him. You think he was mad at you, but he's not. He's very nice.
And he's drawing. No, he's very nice. Rags got up and introduced me to him. And he's like, show her your paintings, you know, and he's showing me his beautiful paintings, oil paintings, gorgeous.
Oh, he did
And
amazing work. Yeah.
wow. So I got to actually speak to him, and but yeah, I totally get it, especially when you're drawing. You look so intense, and you're fighting with your tool. But he was like, no, it's okay. But I was mortified because I was literally like half an inch from like a bottle of ink falling on his commission, and I was that stands out that moment.
Do you know how I know he was working a lot during that show? I mean, he told me that he was busy throughout the whole show and he had a good show, but when I pulled the tablecloths off, his was saturated in ink.
Whoa, maybe that was maybe I
No, he was just that busy. He was working, head down.
Good
Chris
for
said
him.
that your art is wonderful.
Thank you. Means a lot. Means a lot. Thank you so much. So yeah, that was definitely a moment. So that was at your convention, but do you want to maybe I just talk a little bit about when I met Tom McFarlane at Comic-Con?
Yeah, any convention. I'm not like that. No, it's any convention. I support all conventions. We all have to. They're all important. So go for it.
No, but that just popped into my mind because it was my first real convention, and that happening. I'm sure you feel like an amateur at it, as it is, and then that happens. Thanks for sticking me right in between the biggest stars in your show too. Like, oh my God, the pressure. But
I wanted you to get exposure. I wanted you to network, and I wanted you to build confidence.
Yeah, I did, because watching them work, I was like, wow, to sit there for 8 hours and see masters at it.
Regs was really professional. He went downstairs, got his breakfast. He came right in. He came in like an hour early or more to the show. He sat down, started drawing, had his headphones on. He was like total professional. He was there the whole time. He didn't even get up and have lunch, and he was just total professional.
Yeah, he's definitely, and I love his work. His work is just brilliant. And so with Todd McFarlane, I had the opportunity of meeting him, and I definitely became a fangirl, and I was crying and just, and I started to cry because he took my artwork, which I have here. He took my artwork, I brought it, and it was Redemption, the Redeemer, so his fawn, and then I put the Max. And sorry about the glare, but
I have that print too. That's another nice one.
And he wrote, keep up the wonderful artwork. And when he's writing that, I was like just bawling, and I was like, oh my God, you see your childhood hero write that? It was unforgettable.
Did he seem like impressed with it, or?
Well, I have a video of my interaction with him. It was pretty funny because my two very good friends, Ray and Carol, were there videoing it, and they were just like having a blast. It was like them watching a kid in Disneyland. It's my first time at Comic-Con, and then I meet all these amazing artists. I had great angels helping me out, and I lost my mind, and I'm like, I actually had a conversation with him. I was actually able to get words out because
so you didn't do Ralph Crammon?
No. I was close to it. So I had the courage enough to just, talk to him about my work, and I was showing him some of my work, and he gave me great Lula McFarlane.
Yeah, I told you. You guys are great.
Oh my God. So he gave me great feedback. He said that whenever I show my work, I should show, like, for example, the snake eyes, let's say, or no, actually, like to show your work, show your line work first, then show your colors, and show your pencils, then your line, because
Right.
you get lost. And yeah, you could do everything, but it's good to, when you're showing your portfolio, you showcase yourself every section.
Right.
Yeah. He said it's very hard to find somebody that can do it all. It's very hard to find someone that's great at lines, great at pencils, great at
Right.
color. It's a team effort. And so maybe this project will require you great for pencils, concept, and all of that, and then we can pull other so I definitely listened, and I'm making a note of that more, to be able to showcase my art in a different way, more cleaner and compact, for my portfolio. And then he loved my name. I gave him my business card, because my business card actually has the Joker on the back of it, the Joker that I painted. And I gave it to him, and he thought this was really cool. He loved it. And he was like, "Oh my God, you even have a cool name, Lula Lukas." So to hear Tom McFarlane say my name, it was pretty funny and cool, and it was a moment that I'll never forget.
Yeah, it's funny. Chris Matt is here, and McFarlane was there talking with what's his name from Run DMC, Run.
Yeah.
Anyway, and John Leguizamo, and he was standing in the way, so Chris couldn't sit down to work. And I'm like, dude, tell Todd to move. And he was like, I'm not telling Todd to move. So
Todd father.
I'm like, Todd, he can't sit down. Yeah, I'm saying it. And then the artist next to him tapped him on the shoulder and said he can't sit down and work because Chris has got to make money. He's got to work. So we were like, Todd, you got to move over. So Todd was really cool. He moved over, and Chris got a moment with him. And I think they took a picture. Right. I'm not sure. And then Chris got back to sit down and work. So
that's amazing.
Keith wanted to know if you ever got to meet Michael Turner.
No. Did you, Phil?
Me, no. That would have been great. That would have been great. Unfortunately. And Lou said that the max commission you did for me, for my friend, was awesome.
Thank you.
So
thank you so much.
Okay, so so commissions, is there a favorite commission that you were requested to do? And I know it must be Dan's Spider-Man.
No, that was a gift. So I have one coming up that I'm really excited about, and it's a mashup on a sketch cover of the Baroness and Storm Shadow, but replaced with Catwoman or Poison Ivy and Harley. So I'm Baroness might be Poison Ivy, I'm thinking. I'm thinking that might look better. And Storm Shadow for sure is going to be Harley. So that is going to probably be really sick, and I'm excited about that. That's one of my coolest so far.
I'd love to see that. That'll be cool.
Yeah, right. And position them, and definitely the outfits, and play around with the colors, the contrast of it. It's gonna be cool.
So I mean, we talk about a lot of positives, and obviously we want to stay positive, but in the realistic realm of life, people feel discouraged at times, maybe not good enough, or you get an artist block. How do you deal with those moments where those kind of negative feelings creep in?
So I had a bad artist block, where it was just like, sometimes it's part of growing. You get an artist block you're in a phase where you've accomplished something, and now it's like, now what? Now what? And so I did have a very bad one last January, and what I did, like, I didn't even want to draw. I got so frozen that I didn't want to pick up a pencil, because I thought I was going to disappoint myself so badly that I would never be able to, like, I knew, like, if I drew just a circle, it would be crappy, and that would discourage me even more. I was that low, my self-esteem, and it's terrible. And that was after, like, being at Grasshopper Comics. I just got, like, really, and that's what happens sometimes. It's okay, but what I did to get over this, for any artist that's listening, what I did, maybe this might help you, is I went to the store with my very good friend Stacy, and I went and I bought picture frames, 5x7s, whatever, really nice frames. And I said, I'm going to fill these frames up with artwork and give them to my friends, people I love. And
Nice.
when I draw for them what they love, it relieves pressure. So I drew my very good friend Chris and Stacy, another person named Stacy, a beautiful elephant. I drew my husband an elephant. It's funny, they both love elephants, but you know, just I drew my friend Susan a giraffe, and it got me drawing again. It got me over it. So sometimes that can help people. And then if you are discouraged, finding a mentor is very important. You know, having a good artist community, reaching out to your artist friends. And I've done that. I've reached out and like, hey, I'm just feeling crappy. What have you been doing? What projects have you been working on? You know, just talking and not just isolating yourself. And yeah, that's important, to have really good mentors, people that will help guide you, because they've been through it. So
Right. And so you were saying though recently, you mentioned before that we went on live that you kind of had a mentor that,
recently, yeah.
yeah, and how much they've done for you. What about you mentoring for someone else? I mean, have
Well,
you?
yes, I'm actually in the process of it right now. Um, so I contacted Rise Up Animation, and they're an organization, a nonprofit organization that helps artists get involved with, or animators or artists that want to get into animation. And animation can be even just the voice part of it, or the character, the concept art, or the production of animation. And you know, it helps animators that um, need a mentor that's in the professional scene, that's a seasoned artist, and you know, professional Disney artist, Pixar artist, DreamWorks, and they connect them, so that you have someone to review your portfolio, give you general guidance,
Nice.
have a conversation through Zoom. And I was lucky enough to get somebody that has worked on Frozen, that's worked on Zootopia. So she looked at my portfolio, she looked at my website, she gave me incredible feedback. Um, and to have feedback from somebody that's kind of really up there, it was pretty cool, and really constructive too. So the tips that she gave me really made me understand that I have to maybe just animate my characters more. I have this, not that there's anything wrong with it, you know, but to grow, you have to learn different things, right? So you have to challenge yourself. And one of my issues would be that not issues, but my current stage that I'm at is that um my characters almost know that they're being looked at, you know, that they're kind
It's
of
like a
posing.
pose as opposed to kinetic energy
Right.
that would be exposed through
Yeah.
the pose, right?
Yeah, exactly. But you could see the difference from my baby Yoda from 6 months ago to my baby Yoda today. I'm trying to show more movement and action, and you know, and that's part of it. You know, you don't really know until someone points it out to you, and how to
Right.
change that. So that's one thing. And she also told me how, you know, sometimes artists get really hard on themselves. Maybe they don't have the strong background in education, which
Right.
I don't. I'm a self-taught artist, and that can be very heavy, and it's already heavy to be an artist in your own mind. So she brought up the fact that when these larger companies are looking at artists or their work, they're not going and looking at the education. They're not looking to see if you went to this school, and they're
Right.
looking at the work. So remember that, you know, and they also, they have to understand that maybe they're not proficient in every single program. Maybe they're not as highly skilled in Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator, and that's okay. As long as you're able to do the work and produce your very best art, because the larger companies use their own proprietary software. You have to learn their software anyway. So I think that helped me understand that just focus on your craft and improve it, the best you can. Telling the story, that's what really matters. And that's what these bigger companies are looking for, are the stories, the unique stories. So if you have an original idea, you have something that you'd like to tell it. Stop, putting that heavy baggage that's so unnecessary, because they're looking for it. They're looking for storytellers.
You actually answered Aubrey's question before I got to get to it. So you answered it already, but just to show the question, Lula, when you become a future legend in the comic world, what will be your words of wisdom for upcoming artists who look up to you when the time comes? So you answered that. Nice.
And just to finish the other question that you had, like, am I a mentor? So, yes, I am right now. I had a Zoom meeting with a friend of mine's daughter. She just recently, started school, and she's taking art classes, and she's a great artist, and she, I told her, there's a lot of opportunity out there. These larger companies, they're making it a point to acknowledge artists, and especially like women artists too. They want to hear those types of stories, because the audiences now, you have such a bigger reach now, so there are more stories to tell, and so I'm helping her currently, and she texts me questions about Procreate, and I'm there to answer as quickly as we can currently. So
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to give back in that way.
Steve Garcia, which is he came up with the name Rogues Gallery. He's a phenomenal guy. I love this guy. Lula, you hitting you with some knowledge, y'all.
I'm trying. Well, when you learn something and then you teach it, two people learn. So by me explaining that, I hope others can share that the same way, or maybe they can look out for somebody else and share that, like, hey, go for it, tell your story.
So I'm going to end with this last question I ask every guest on the show, and then we'll go to a Q&A, because I know I missed some questions for whoever's still in the chat. If you could go back in time to when you were first starting out, what advice would you give yourself?
You starting out in 2018? Maybe not to bring canvases to your show.
But you kind of... Well, you kind of stopped for a while, didn't you? I mean, you were doing it, and then you stopped, and then you started again, right?
Yeah, just as a hobby, though. It was literally just sketching and drawing as a hobby. And not that, this is kind of I guess. If you can exchange money for art, I guess you are a professional, right? So, but yeah, it was just, it was literally just as a hobby. And if I could go back, I really wouldn't change a thing, because I'm a different person than I am, 20 years ago. So I wouldn't be able to, I had to go through life experiences that shaped me to be the person I am today. So
I agree.
I look forward, I'm not the type of person that looks back. Because then it's wasteful. It's a waste of time.
I agree.
Let go and move forward.
How are you going to travel down the road if you're constantly looking in the rearview mirror?
Exactly. I learned that.
Michael said, I can't even get a publisher to hire me. I hope your colors help.
Maybe.
I'm one of these people that thinks of things on the fly, and I'm actually going to, after the show is over, when I do my closing monologue or whatever you want to call it, I do want to make a point of, what Mike is saying and what you're saying right now, because I think it's important. So I'm going to mention something later. But so everybody who has questions that didn't get answered, throw them at me now, and we'll go. Have you made any progress with that while you were talking, or not really?
I'm Italian, so I talk a lot with my hands, so it's hard.
I'm just going to tell you now, I actually take this as a compliment, but Norm's here. Oh, my God. Norm, did you get your Tang, Norm? Norm Ratman is here. Are you making cupcakes, Norm? All right,
I'm drinking Tang. Oh my god,
Norm,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's also an inside joke about Tang cupcakes with Norm. Norm is an awesome dude. I mean, he's an awesome dude. I had a great time when I picked him up from the airport talking. I look forward to having him back at his show. If you come to my next show, you should meet him. He's just a great guy.
Love to.
And he's funny. So I'm glad you got your Tang, Norm. Now, I forgot what I was going to say because I got excited after seeing Norm.
No.
All right, what are the questions from everybody? All right, Dell's got a good one. Do you think you finally overcame public talking? I think you're doing great.
Yeah, I definitely did. It took a while, and just surrounding myself around people that can speak well helped. And but mostly the fear was being in crowds. That really was something. I mean, we're New Yorkers, so we know that we get that spidey sense, and so I definitely got over that. The speaking, I just really learned how to communicate and express myself better, and knew that it was anything I'm saying, it's definitely gonna my hope, my intent is to maybe inspire others that if I can do this. I was very fearful. I was just a mess. And if I didn't do it and I maybe changed my mind, I wouldn't have reached, I have so many like fans that are like really young and aspiring artists, and who knows, maybe they'll be able to do something really big one day. So that's what you have to think about when you are trying to speak and stuff. So it matters.
Dell wanted to ask, do you think your mom's decision to send you to school was the best thing that could have ever happened to you?
He's really listening to podcasts because I spoke about that.
He does his homework. I told you, man wants to win. He wants that baby Yoda for his wife. Happy wife, happy life.
Sending me to school. It sounds so funny if you don't know my background.
See, I didn't, so I was like, should I bother mentioning this or not? Because he's getting into more personal stuff, and I don't know. So I'm like, do I mention or not?
Just a little background about me. My background is Romani, and they have, they don't like to assimilate with people that are, it's almost like Amish, so a lot of the children are homeschooled. And my mom was half Italian, and she wanted to make sure that I went to school. And so yeah, I am truly grateful for that, and her choices that she made. And a lot of her strength is anything you see in me in confidence or strength or anything like that, it's a direct result of her guidance. And so yeah, I definitely am grateful that she sent me to school.
Dell's careful. Dell might be outside your window right now with binoculars, sitting on a tree. I'm just kidding.
A little creepy.
Lou T. Art. This is Lou Tramontano. Lula, I love doing amalgam sketches. If you could create a new single character by combining with existing characters, who would you choose to create an amalgamation character sketch of?
I don't know what that means.
Well, I mean, you were talking about before how you're gonna mix two characters together with Storm Shadow.
Like a mashup,
and he's saying if you had your choice of what characters to mash together and make one created character, what characters would you choose?
I definitely want to do the Max. I'm trying to think with what, Max and maybe Bane. I don't know.
Okay. That'd be interesting.
It'd be interesting, right?
That would be definitely.
They're very similar, and shape wise? I don't know. I've never had that question. That definitely.
Well, if you come up with an
That's the best
answer,
I
if
could
you
come
ever
up
come up with an answer, you can always come back to the chat and you can just reply and answer if you want to.
with. Okay.
So does anybody else have any other questions for Lula? Otherwise, I'm going to do the going once, going twice. Going once, going twice. Okay. Look, thank you so much for coming on. I had a good time.
Thank
I hope
you.
you did.
Absolutely. I had a great time.
We actually got to catch up. I haven't talked to you in a long time, really, so it was nice to catch up again.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm very happy for your success. So I'm going to remind everyone, scrolling across the bottom, Love by Lula is her Instagram. Lula Lukas is her Facebook. And www.lulalukas.com. You can go there to see what artwork she has in her portfolio. There's purchasable art there as well. The Vampirella cover, her store variant, is going to be with Royal Collectibles, Genesis Comics and Gaming, and Fourth World Comics here in Suffolk County in Queens, New York. They're great stores, by the way. Go to those stores, and if they run out of a copy, ask them to order more. But support her. Local artists like her need and want and deserve the support. And keep an eye out for Red Sonja that's coming out.
Yes. Yeah, the next one. I'll have more information. I'll definitely post that on my website, or just stay connected.
And are you open for commissions?
Currently, yes. I'm finally cleaning up my list, and I'm going to now open it up. So if you have anything, jump on it now, because the holidays are coming, and with Red Sonja, and I also have another cover lined up, so I can't announce it yet. But please let me know, and you could contact me by direct message or Facebook Messenger and let me know, and I'll put you on my list for sure. But you got to do it soon.
Okay, you heard that. Yeah, Veer, you put me in a bad spot, but okay, I'm going to ask the question for Veer, because I don't usually like to go down these roads. But he asked, what are your thoughts on the lack of diversity amongst comic characters? I don't know if there's a lack of it, or is this too political? So, what are your thoughts on, he said, the lack of diversity in comics?
What are my thoughts about it? I think that actually there has been a lot of movement recently with a lot of the Miles Morales comics. And so I think that you got to remember, I've been out of this comic book scene for a long period of time. So coming back into this, I think there has been a big
great
difference.
strides, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm used to, being in the 90s, and and it's like, oh, I mean, it is what it is. It's like,
well, the demographic has changed too. I mean, if you think about it, back in the 60s and 70s, it was mostly white 12-year-old kids that were buying comics. So it was geared towards white 12-year-old kids. And then as girls start getting, females start buying, and as other races and cultures start buying, they start to recognize that, and they're going to cater to that demographic. I mean, that's business. Who's buying your book is who you're going to gear it towards, I think. So I think they're recognizing that there are more cultures. Both genders are really into comics now. So yeah, they're starting to wake up, and they're starting to identify to those people now. So.
Yeah, and like, and they're becoming creators too. A lot of the stories that are being told, these artists are from a diverse background. So now you're getting different types of stories, and they're reaching different types of audience. So it's definitely, to me, honestly, I see a big difference, because I've come from the 80s and 90s generation, and then also when you start to look into before that, just for example, some of the women that were portrayed in comics way, they were mostly just like secretaries, not even a superhero.
Right.
It's like listen, it takes time, and
Yeah, they were the damsel in distress at first. So
Yeah, it's all you've ever seen, and now it's like, oh, I love watching Wonder Woman. I love, like, that makes me inspired. So I hope that answered.
Aubrey asked, "Who will win a sketch off between you and Prime Lula?"
Prime Lula? What does that mean?
I don't know. I thought that was an inside joke, maybe.
Who win a sketch off between you and Prime Lula? I don't know, Aubrey. Explain that. What does that mean?
Lou wants to know if you take inking commissions as well.
I do.
All right. I'm going to give a few minutes just for Aubrey if you want to clarify. I didn't know if it was an inside joke, so I wasn't sure. So again, I'm just going to say, scrolling on the bottom are all your contacts. Vampirella cover is coming out in a week. So please go by and support. Local artists work very hard. They're hungry. They're not getting it easy, and you all know we all are humans, and we have self-doubt, and we have disappointment, and we get frustrated. Are we ever going to make it, etc.? Well, help people not feel that way. Support the work, support the art, support the creators. And, for so many reasons. How about just the fact of you never know if she's going to be the next quote-unquote Todd McFarlane, and she remembers you when you supported her. How's that sound? So
that sounds great.
Yeah, really. Keith said it might be a Transformers reference. I don't know. Or maybe, I don't know if Aubrey was trying to say, like, when you get to your peak talent, I don't know, maybe, who would win. I don't know. But I thought it was inside.
He cracks me up.
Steve said, "Thanks, Brother Philip, and thanks, Lula. You're an amazing artist, and I look forward to seeing you on the con circuit. If you come to my next show, you'll meet Steve Garcia, because he will be there."
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Steve. I look forward to meeting you one day.
Oh, my God. Here we go. Why didn't you shave your eyebrows when you dressed as Lula Scissorhands?
I thought I did good. Oh my God. I tried to hide them as much as I could, and Lula Scissorhands.
Hey, Mark, we're an hour and 43 minutes into the show, and you come here. I got here late. You didn't get here late. You got here super late. What are you doing? What are you doing? Anyway, I sit here and I promote this guy, and he shows up an hour and 45 minutes in. You're lucky I like you. I'm kidding, of course. I don't like him. No, I was kidding.
Oh, my God.
I'm kidding. Anyway, so, take your time on finishing that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the two best questions to win the prizes. One will be for the Prince. The runner-up, so to speak, will be for the Prince, and the winner will be for the Baby Yoda. And I will make a video announcement tomorrow about it. Nice. And let the winners know, and then they'll contact you, and then I'll just pick it up from you, and I'll ship it out to them. The shipping is on me. There is no cost to the winners. There's no sense in getting free art if you got to pay for shipping. That just sounds silly to me. And it was very kind of you to donate all this art. I mean, it was a lot of art, 3 prints and the pencils for that. So thank you. That's kind.
I hope to be able to give you more, and they hold greater value one day,
Oh, well, I'm telling you now, I don't flip art. You could become the next Todd McFarlane. I'd be keeping the art that I have from you anyway. So my kids will get it when
you know what I mean.
Die. But
more published, more of a backing, So
well, I mean, honestly, you've made a lot of strides in 2 years. I mean, you've made a lot of great strides, and I'm just going to say this: when you make strides that quickly, you start to see some haters. Do not listen to haters. They're not giving you honest criticism. They're not giving you honest feedback. They're giving you jealousy. Know the difference. That's my friendship advice to you. Because when you start to progress and they start to get upset that maybe you're moving past them, they start to knock you down or try to knock you off your pedestal. Don't ever let that happen. And this is me talking to everybody out there, whether you're Michael Ratliff or Lula Lukas. especially if it's unsolicited critique, there's usually a motivation there. Why is it unsolicited? It's one thing if you go to somebody, it's another thing if they just tell you,
Mm-hmm.
So stay positive and stay away from all that. You've made great strides and just keep going. Just stay focused. It's like you said, if you're not looking ahead and you're looking in the rearview mirror, or you're looking to the side, or you're distracted, you're not going to reach your goal. And ultimately your goal has, to be your dream, your happiness, whatever that may be. So
I don't know what it is, because I'm much further than I thought I would ever be.
And that's fantastic.
As soon as I got a table at your show, I was like, what? And then everything else is a bonus. So
I was asking who will win between current Lula or throwback Lula and a sketch off drawing Wolverine.
Ooh.
So okay.
Who would win? So what is winning?
Art is subjective. That's a good question. So who would be winning?
What is winning? Time-wise, I would definitely win time-wise now. I was much slower. But quality, I think that maybe I'm a little better. A little bit after 20 years.
Give yourself some credit. Just so you know, so Mark apparently is early for tomorrow. There is nothing tomorrow, Mark, but you hang on and wait for us. Norm, I'm sure everybody knows who Norm Ratman is. Norm is a famous inker in DC Comics. He does a lot of work with Brett Booth and Ian Churchill and a bunch of other big-time artists, and he's all over Flash and a bunch of other books and Titans and Teen Titans and yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, there's prizes. Yeah, Norm, you should have asked the question, man. You blew it. You blew it.
You still have time. Ask me a question.
Dell said, I predict Lula is going to become big because I want her art. No, I'm sorry. You said because she's a kind and positive person.
I almost spit water all over the drawing.
I told you, we bust chops around here. Thanks again for coming out. Sincerely. Anytime. I mean, the time went so fast. I hope you had a good time.
Absolutely. Thank you for doing this. This is very, very important. I listened to them. I watched your previous shows. And while I'm drawing, I'm listening to such incredible stories from these artists. And that is such a gift to people that are trying to be the best that they could be, whether it's a writer or an artist, and to hear their stories and what they've been through. And plus it's very light and we need that. And you've always done that. You've always connected people. And this is just another platform, another way to do that. And it's very meaningful. And thank you for doing this. Really.
I'm shocked. I'm really not doing anything, but no problem.
No, you're doing it, and you're doing it great. This is so professional. You've really.
This is professional.
Yeah,
wow.
Absolutely. You have a scroll. Like, who does that?
Let me tell you something. I am terrible at tech. I have no clue about tech. I have no clue about tech, and I'm just going to say, I made a post because I was like, you know what? I want to do something more in the community. I want to help, and at the same time, I'm going back crap crazy without my convention. I'm used to working 4 jobs, doing my convention, so what am I going to do? So I put up a post about, hey, maybe I'll do some little Q&A.
I remember.
I thought I'd get like 5 answers. I got like 100. And not just 100, but like from some like really well-established people in the industry. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm doing this. And because I'm a jump in and swim kind of guy, I then stopped and said, oh, crap, I don't know anything about tech. How the hell am I supposed to do this? And sure enough, within 3 days, I was on with Scott Hanna, because that's just how I do things. I just don't care. Whatever, just do it. And I did get a lot of help along the way from a lot of people that helped me get on the computer and learn things. Yeah, great people. I really appreciate it. Yes, Veer did a lot to help me with the tech support, and he continues to. I mean, he's done an astronomical amount. That's why I answered his damn question. So thank you. Have you ever ruined a piece of art, spilled ink, sneeze, drool that you could not fix? Only Norm.
No, I haven't. Now I'm probably going to jinx myself, but
well, when he talks about sneeze or drool, it makes me wonder now when I get a commission from Norm.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, did he sneeze on it?
God, no. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer for that. But I didn't know that there is actually like white ink, basically an eraser ink that inkers use, and I found that out through Adelso. And when I found that out, I was like, oh, now I can actually ink and be a little bit more confident and go a little faster and not worry about smudges, you know. So they do have that white ink for mistakes. So, but I haven't spilled it. I always make sure, I try to make sure I don't have anything around. And
By the way,
I don't usually drool. Not usually.
That's a good habit not to have. Yeah.
Maybe when I get older and, you know, I have dentures, that might be a problem, but I don't plan on stopping trying. So I have to think about that. Yeah.
See, this is what happens every show. It's supposed to be an hour show, but you know,
I don't know how to time. It's almost midnight.
I know, and meanwhile, we're getting more
bed.
questions. They keep throwing out questions. This happens every show. Someone goes to me, "I thought you were gonna have an hour show. Why is it an hour and 45? Why is it 2 hours?" Because people keep staying. We have 30 people in the room right now. We're as high as almost 48 people in the room for a good portion of the show. So it's like they don't want us to leave, which is cool.
And they bounce, and they probably come in, come back, check it out, like what's going on.
You've been steady all night, so
I mean, that's great. I know. I mean, it's a great conversation, you know.
Tell that to my wife because she doesn't want to hear from me. No, I'm just kidding.
She's a great artist, by the way. Has she been working a little bit more?
No, you know, it's hard. She's working and the kids, and when she has the time, she's tired, and it's tough for her. And I want to get to the point where if she wanted to stop working and pursue art, I would love to do that for her because she really is talented. And like you, she's not taught. She's self-taught, I mean. But like you and probably most artists, she doesn't realize how good she is.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know. I want to like really sit down with her and just show her some stuff. And
see, you know, I can't speak for her, but I think she's intimidated, and I think that's why it hasn't happened. I don't know for sure. I can't speak for her, but I know that, you know, yeah, I know it's only 8:52 for you, Norm. You're in California. Aubrey, when you retire from the comic universe, what will be your final art you will do for the world to see?
When I retire? Oh, that's a hard question. I don't know. I don't think about these things. At least I would hope maybe the painting I was talking about, you know, maybe that'll be my masterpiece about doing a Batman with a, you know, the Vatican behind him or something, or, you know, something very spectacular and having the Renaissance elements. I would love that. I would love to be able to do that. Massive, like a huge canvas, you know, and anything's possible.
Sorry, go ahead. Vera asked what your most awkward commission request is. Now, I know you haven't really had any awkward ones, right? Just good ones?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm grateful for that because I've heard of people.
Pandas, yeah, we know.
I don't know. I hope I never get one. I would.
Yeah, you're probably going to someday. You know, I do think though, being a female artist, you're less likely to get the creepy guys that come up asking for like crazy crap, which is a good thing. You know, I don't even understand that personally, but you know, whatever. Real women are nice, but cartoons, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I'm lucky I haven't, and I don't want any. Thank you.
Look, guys, we do have to call it a wrap. It's almost midnight. I'm sure Lula would like to get to sleep at some point or finish up the Baby Yoda sketch. There's no rush on finishing that, just so you know, but I will announce the winner tomorrow. And, you know, if it's not done, it's not done. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I'll work on it another, you know, half hour right now. And I like to draw at night. So challenge accepted. Someone draw Phil in a French. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's awkward.
This is my rogues gallery, so I'm just letting you know. All right.
He's funny.
Thanks again for coming out.
Thank you.
And say hi to Andrew and the dogs.
I will.
And if you're too tired to hang out backstage, we'll catch up another day. But if you want to hang out just a few minutes, you know, we'll wrap things up.
Yeah, I can hang out.
Okay. Lula Lukas, Love by Lula on Instagram, Lula Lukas on Facebook, www.lulalukas.com for her art, her portfolio, for purchasing everything. Vampirella's coming out in a week. Her cover, it's in Royal Collectibles comic store in Queens, Genesis Comics and Gaming in Ronkonkoma, and Fourth World Comics in, is it Smithtown or Hauppauge? Hauppauge, right?
Smithtown. I believe it's Smithtown.
It's right there. If you're not a New Yorker, is there a way for them to get this issue?
Well, yeah. I mean, right now you can order at getslabbedup.com, and it'll be shipped to you through the online comic book store. So they will
getslab.com.
And they do slabbing, and I can sign it. I could do remarks, just pump up the rookiness even more, and
sweet,
whatever. Yeah.
You heard her. She'll do remarks. She'll do signing. You can slab it. So there you go. If you're not in the New York area and you want one, and you should want one, she's moving up fast, and you're going to want to be able to say that you got her first cover at a 9.8.
You're so good at this. Oh my God.
Well, think about it. In 2 years, you've gone pretty fast. I mean, you could be Norm Ratman status soon enough. You could be
2 years. Phil, I met you in 2018, summer of 18.
Didn't I say 2 years? No.
You did 3.
Oh, did I? Oh, 2 years. Well, there you go.
2 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, think about it. You invest in this cover, and you don't know 9.8, and she becomes the next big thing. You've got the first cover she ever did at 9.8.
I'm gonna send this. You know what's on my website?
Buy 4 of them. Buy 4 of them, because if they become really expensive, you'll have 4 of them. Anyway,
this is true, and it's limited. There's only literally probably 10 copies left. It's very limited. So
tell them you print more. But yeah, there you go.
But then it's a second print, isn't it? Less valuable.
That's a good point. Oh, you got 10 more. Let's go. Go get them. You heard.
Or you're gonna have to go get them from the shops that I'm so grateful for, and I love them so much for supporting me.
If you get them through the slab, do they do the CGC there? So if you sign it, they'll have the authenticity certificate, and they'll have a witness there, right? Yeah, that's how you do it, Del.
And if you wanted to go to Royal, which I'm doing the signing
live,
they are gonna have the witness there, and I can't believe this. Could you imagine?
Listen, and I'll even extend this to help. If there's anybody who doesn't live in the New York area that wants it, I can go to Royal at her signing. I'll pick it up for you and ship it out to you at your cost, though. That is at your cost. But I will go get it for you, get it signed, get the witness, and then I'll ship it to you.
That's so nice of you. That's really sweet.
We got to help everybody. We got to lift each other up and stop tearing each other down. That's what it's about.
Yep, for sure.
All right, so I will see you backstage in a few minutes because this is the 5th time. I told you.
You can't get rid of me.
No, it's not you. It's they can't get rid of them. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Thank you. All right, I'll talk to you in a few minutes. Hang out backstage.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
So that was episode 16 with Lula Lukas. I have to say thank you so much to everybody who came out. I appreciate everybody that asked questions, my rogues gallery, new people, new faces. I have to tell you, and I'm being serious, the more you watch the show, the more views we get, the more you're helping the people I'm trying to support. I don't make money off of this. This doesn't gain me anything. I don't have a show to promote right now, so this is really just, I really just want to help people pursue their dreams the same way I want to pursue mine. So please tell everybody, share live, share the posts, come out for future guests as well and show them a lot of love. And thank you to everybody that came out. I just want to say this real quick. To all the artists and all the people out there that struggle, feel depressed, feel down, am I ever getting anywhere? Am I going to get anywhere? Am I any good? I'm going to tell you right now, as a show promoter with a small show, I have expectations of myself and dreams to be at a bigger situation too. So I'm not above those feelings. But when I get those feelings, I kind of kick them away right away. I get a chip on my shoulder. And I say, when someone doesn't show me the respect that I feel I deserve, I will get to where I have to be so they will notice me. They will show that respect at some point. I'm a fighter. I'm a pit bull, and I'm telling you to do the same. Don't ever quit on yourself. Don't ever give up. It's all about time and pressure. Okay? You keep sticking with it. You stay patient, and you keep working hard. But you really got to want it. If you want it that bad, you got to be willing to bleed and sacrifice. And if you do that, you can't fail. So that's my advice to everybody out there, whether you're Michael Ratliff or anybody else. The only person that can stop you is you. Don't be that person. Having said that, we have Sora Sung on Friday at 10 p.m. Sora's a really cool person. I'm sure everybody knows who she is. She's big in the indie scene. And then Saturday, I will have my Art of the Jam piece, episode number 2, which I go over my jam pieces. You can see some behind me, and I go over them. I'm going to go over the very first one I ever got before, which is very special to me for several reasons. I do a close-up on the art, and you'll get to just check it out. We talk art. It's only like a 25-minute show, but I also will be doing art giveaways from the nice artists, the kind artists that have donated to that. So if you come to the show, you have to listen to what I'm saying during the jam, because I'm going to ask a question, and the answer will have been said during the show showing you the jam. You get the answer right, the first person to get it right will get free art. Okay? So thank you to everybody for coming out again. Thank you to Lula for being an awesome guest. I hope you all had fun. I appreciate the support. Continue to support. Go buy Vampirella, her Vampirella cover. And I wish everybody well. I'll leave you with what I always leave you. Have fun. Storm in the castle.